It's a specialty night here at McMorran Place as the Port Huron Prowlers wear Christmas jerseys when they take on the Columbus River Dragons. Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you tonight at McMorran Place, and the Prowlers are indeed wearing their specialty jerseys tonight. They'll also be having specialty pucks that are available for purchase tonight for fans. And tonight is also the teddy bear toss night, and I have my teddy bear here all set to toss from the broadcast booth tonight, along with all the fans here at McMorran Place. All of that coming up on the pregame show. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here at McMorran Place, the Prowlers tonight, as I mentioned, benefiting a good cause. It's the Law Enforcement Torch Run for the Special Olympics Michigan. Prowlers will be wearing these specialty jerseys tonight, which will be auctioned off after the game here live in the arena. And that will raise money again for the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics. Teams also will be playing with specialty pucks tonight, supporting the torch run, and with a nice green Grinchy Prowlers logo on it. And of course, as well, it is the teddy bear toss night here at McMorran Place. Well, last night, the Prowlers and the River Dragons faced off here, and it was another tough game for Port Huron, another slow start for the Prowlers in a game against the Columbus River Dragons. Columbus went out to a 3-0 lead after one period of play. Prowlers were able to get one back, but the River Dragons added two more. It was 5-1 before the end of the second period. Liam Freeborn and Joe Devaney scored in the third, but the comeback fell short, and the Prowlers dropped their third straight game to Columbus this season. And they dropped their second straight contest. Their 3-game point streak was also snapped last night. Well, the River Dragons it's no secret that they are one of the best teams in the FPHL. They currently lead the league with 42 points, a 14-1-1 record, a league high 90 goals for, and a league low 39 goals against. River Dragons have been a dominant team all season long, but the Prowlers have proven that they can keep up with them. They kept up with Columbus for much of that game, but it's the River Dragons just with the ability to convert on their opportunities. Prowlers did outshoot Columbus 43-37 in that game, but the River Dragons, again, coming away with the victory. Well, tonight, a new look in net for the Port Huron Prowlers as we take a look at our projected lines tonight. Joe Noonan will be getting the start between the pipes for the Port Huron Prowlers. He was a Prowler last year. He's been here all season long as the third goalie, and he's waited patiently for his opportunity, and finally he gets his chance. Last year, appeared in 8 games with the Prowlers, 2-4 record with an .853 save percentage and a .519 goals against average. He also played in a couple of games with Pensacola in the SPHL, 1-0 with a .312 goals against average and a .900 save percentage. So Joe Noonan, the man between the pipes tonight for the Port Huron Prowlers as they get set to take on the Columbus River Dragons and try and salvage a split from this weekend series. We'll have the game for you coming up in just a few minutes here on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube page.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Back here at McMorran Place, still getting you ready for Prowlers and River Dragons coming up in just about 5 minutes time. Both teams getting set to take the ice very shortly as the Prowlers try and continue to climb the Continental Division standings. They sit 3 points behind the Carolina Thunderbirds tonight. Prowlers 24 points in 17 games, 7-7-3 this season, while 3 points again behind the Carolina Thunderbirds. Crowd getting excited here on Teddy Bear Toss Night. For the first Prowlers goal, the fans have brought teddy bears to toss and other stuffed animals to toss out onto the ice. All of those will be donated to the McLaren Hospital for their children's wing. So a great cause for tonight that the Prowlers like to do every single year, along with partnering with the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics, as they're doing again tonight. We don't expect really too many changes to the Columbus lineup. We will give you a quick note. Sam Williams for the Port Huron Prowlers, typically number 55, but due to the specialty jerseys tonight, he will be wearing number 9 for the Port Huron Prowlers. So you will see a number 9 skating around for the Prowlers. That is Sam Williams. And it's very exciting for the Prowlers to have these specialty jerseys and get them auctioned off for a good cause. And again, that will be after the game. But a big line to watch out for tonight for the River Dragons. The Jacob Kelly, Alex Storjahan, and Lane King line. Those three guys combining for 8 points last night. Kelly ended up with a hat trick in the game, scored once in the first and twice in the second period of that contest. King with a goal and an assist. Storjahan, a pair of helpers in that game. They were the ones running the offense for the River Dragons last night. Meanwhile, for the Prowlers, same lineup. And of course, you have that ever dangerous Vartiainen, Foley, Devaney line. Liam Freeborn got on the board again with Matt Graham and Dalton Jay, as he typically is. That third line staying the same. Austin Federley up in Vinny DeCumbus' spot, along with Sam Merritt and Tucker Scantleberry. Well, now all we need is the teams to come out onto the ice. Neither team seems to be ready yet to head out onto the ice. Neither are the referees, although the clock is bleeding down here at McMorran Place. Not quite sure what the delay is in the tunnel, as I don't see either team yet. And now finally, the Columbus River Dragons, led by Bailey McBurney, their starting goaltender tonight, appear at the door, and finally, here come the referees as well. So we can finally get all set to play some hockey. Festivities, again, just about to get underway. Waiting a little longer than anticipated, and finally, the River Dragons step out onto the ice. And we will take you down to ice level for the pregame festivities here at McMorran Place.
The hunt begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, let's welcome the Prowlers Spirit, presented by CL Spirit. Alexis, Ashlyn, Jen, Maddie, Paige, and Serenity. The Prowlers Spirit is coached by Amanda, and the CL Spirit Director is Christine. Prowlers fans, are you ready? It's time to meet tonight's starting lineup, presented by Orthopedic Associates. At forward, number 18, Leon Freeborn. At forward, number 51, Matt Graham. Also at forward, number 92, Dalton Jay. On defense, number 27, Frank Schumacher. And our captain, number 84, Dustin Hanning. In goal this evening for the Prowlers, number 41, Joe Noonan. And let's welcome to the ice the rest of your Port Huron Prowlers. The head coach and general manager of your Port Huron Prowlers is Matt Graham. Assistant coach and assistant general manager is Alex Johnson. At this time, we ask that you please join us in a brief moment of silence for Vicky Vargo. Vicky passed away unexpectedly this morning. She spent countless hours volunteering for the Silver Stick Tournament, worked at the roll call table, took care of her husband Rick, and was the daughter-in-law of Miss Betty Vargo. Please, let's have a moment of silence. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen, may we suggest removing your caps as we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem, sponsored by by Mike Batchelor. We remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the legendary voice of the Prowlers, Sarah Dent. Presenting the colors tonight are members of the Michigan Department of Corrections Honor Guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Sarah Depp once again on the anthem for the Port Huron Prowlers, as she is often this season and in past years for the Prowlers here at McMorran Place. Ceremonial puck drop just ahead on the Special Olympics night for the Prowlers. Looks like we do have a Grinch running around. The Grinch is not just on the Prowlers uniforms, but also in the building tonight. Well, if you missed our pregame show and want a better look at those jerseys that the Prowlers are wearing tonight, let's put them up here for you. Those are the specialty holiday jerseys for the Port Huron Prowlers tonight. They'll be auctioned off post-game to support the law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics. Now let's take a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight. Joe Noonan and Bailey McBurney. You see Noonan's stats up there from 2021-22 when he was with the Prowlers. This is his first time dressing this season for Port Huron. He sets up in the net to our right. Bailey McBurney, a fantastic year for him so far. Shutout in his last appearance against the Danbury Hat-Tricks last weekend. 8-1 with a 2.43 goals against average and a .927 save percentage, going up against the Johnson and Wales product, Joe Noonan. And it looks like we have a little bit more of a little more pregame festivities going on. All this down in the Prowlers end where the Zamboni doors are. And just some more to show how special this night is, not only the Special Olympics, but for the McLaren Hospital, where all the teddy bears will be donated. The Prowlers hopefully will get an early goal and the fans will be able to unleash the teddy bear storm as soon as possible.
Second ceremonial puck drop. The puck was dropped by special guests of today entertaining Cal, Desmond, Cece, Mason, and Dominic.
So a few kids with the second ceremonial puck drop, and now we're ready for the real puck drop between Matt Graham and Alex Storjahan at center ice. And we are underway in the first period of the Prowlers specialty jersey night. Wearing those holiday uniforms, but it's Kelly, drops it to King. His first shot, Noonan got a piece of it. Frageau in the corner, poked off his stick. This line was dangerous. King, Storjahan, and Kelly last game. If you missed our pregame show, they combined for 8 points. Kelly had a hat trick yesterday. Kelly settles it down, gives to Storjahan, all the way up to King, but his shot blocked by Jay. Dalton Jay able to kick it up to his stick and start a rush. Drops to Graham. Storjahan on the back check, got a piece of that puck. Suicide rush the other way. Storjahan shot blocked aside by Minnie. Comes to the left wing boards, Graham. Up to Gino Minnie. Gino Minnie trying to dance through, but his pass was to nobody. And comes all the way out. Noonan out of his crease to play it away from Gill. And then Noonan and Gill collided. Meanwhile, puck in the Columbus end. Joe Noonan seems to be all right. Petrantonio leaves it off for Michael Greco. A couple of assists for Greco last night fourth in the FPHL in penalty minutes, but not even first on his team. That belongs to Edgars Ozelinch, who has 89 penalty minutes. He's third. Scantlebury finds the puck in the slot, couldn't pull the trigger, and Gill gets it out, goes all the way down, and the race is on. Minnie wins it. Icing is called. A couple of assists as well for Gino Minnie last night. That helped him snap a 6-game point drought. Offensive zone draw coming for the Prowlers. 18-17 up on the clock. First period. Foley and Petrantonio in there. It's won by the River Dragons captain, Josh LaBelle. Up to Gill at his own blue line. Gets it out to center. Takes a hit, but drops to Greco. Austin Doe poked it into the Prowlers' end. And it's deflected down by Vartiainen, but not on net. So an icing against Port Huron. Icings both ways early on in this game, just 2:06 in. River Dragons with the only shot on goal so far. Foley and Wickline now in the face-off circle. Wickline centering Aldworth and Underwood. Comes over, and the shot hit the post, the rebound, and Wickline couldn't put it back on. Boy, Aldworth with a nice shot, had plenty of time to unleash it, and he just hit the post to Noonan's left. Prowlers trying not to fall behind and have that slow start like they've had in the 3 games against Columbus so far this season. Fell behind 3-0 last night. As Devaney winds and fires, McBurney makes his first stop of the night. Aldworth stolen by Freeborn. He tried to tuck it on the post. Net is off its moorings right now. Play continues. And Underwood's able to get it out of the zone. Wickline to Aldworth all alone, and he tossed it over top of the cage. Schumacher hits the red line, rims it in. Looks like the net is kind of back on, not quite. So they'll blow it dead and fix that net behind Bailey McBurney. That's referee Steve Gowdy making the call to do that. Jonathan Paradise, the other referee tonight. The linesmen Dallas Mitchell and Ryan Coletto. Graham and Storjahan on the faceoff. One back to Schumacher. Quickly gets it deep. Freeborn had it go past him. Now he locks up with Kelly. River Dragons able to get it out. Slides nicely on this fresh sheet, but icing waved off. King muscled off Schumacher, and then Storjahan with an in-tight chance in front, and Noonan with a nice save. Schumacher up the boards through King and out to center. 16:20 to go, first period. Schumacher took down Kelly at center, also bumped King in the process. Freeborn holds, gives to Henning, and he finds Sam Merritt. Hop past his stick and out. Kelly tries to turn the other way. Jacob Kelly with a rising shot. Missed high. Rogers just did his best to keep it in, but instead he handed it off to Dalton Jay. Jay drops to Scantlebury. Around the net. Cycles it deep. Jay's there. Tried to feed it in front, but Storjahan was the only one in front of McBurney. He's able to get it out of danger. Johnson gloves it down at center. Now Rogers. Doe thought he tipped it in. Icing is waved off, maybe because Petrantonio won that race and not because Austin Doe got a piece of it. Here is Doe with a shot, missed it wide. Doe again to the backhand. That one also off target. Doe lost his 3-game point streak last night, but working hard early on to start another one. Petrantonio muscled off by Alex Johnson. Johnson almost came out of that pile with the puck, but he was surrounded by 4 River Dragons. Goes back into the zone. A stickless Michael Greco trying to force it out. And it did just come out. Greco gave Scantleberry a shove after the whistle, and the crowd reacting to that. 14:40 to go, first period. And the teams will take a break, and we'll take an opportunity to throw it back to last year's Teddy Bear Toss night. It was Alex Johnson scoring the goal that unleashed the Teddy Bear storm here at McMorran Place a year ago today. That game was between the Prowlers and the Carolina Thunderbirds. We'll see who scores the Teddy Bear Toss winning goal, or Teddy Bear Toss goal tonight. Again, the first goal of the game for the Port Huron Prowlers will unleash the Teddy Bears at McMorran Place. I have mine up here in the broadcast booth. We'll see how good my arm is. I may end up hitting a player on the bench, and I'm sure I will hear it from them if that happens. McBurney getting back into his crease as we have a neutral zone draw after the offsides. Foley and Wickline in there to take it. Wickline wins it back. Frejot, D to Edgar Zozelinch, the Latvian native. Here's Aldworth through center. Aldworth takes a shot and he scores. It looked like it hit Parsons on the way through, and another early goal for the Columbus River Dragons makes it 1-0. It's been a theme in these matchups. The River Dragons with an early goal once again. Prowlers trying to make sure that this lead doesn't get too far out of hand like it has in their last few meetings. Devaney off the boards and in, but didn't get there quick enough, so Evan Foley in too early. Offside is the call. Foley and Wickline again. This time it's 1-2 Frejot, and he'll skate it all the way up, hit Parsons at the Prowlers' blue line. Devaney into the zone, goes between his own legs, tried to go to the backhand, but he couldn't get all of that shot. Devaney shoved off by Frejot. Vartiainen digging for that puck. Larry Vartiainen with it behind the net. Now into the corner. Vartiainen again comes up the boards. Devaney able to recover at center. Parsons to Vartiainen, and now Hainsel quickly to Foley. He enters the zone, dropped off. Hainsel put it on. Frejot cut it off before it got to McBurney. Wickline overskated the puck, but he does get it out to center. Graham comes back in, winds and fires, and McBurney has that with 13:27 to go in the first period. Well, Thomas Aldworth's 5th goal of the season is the only one so far. Aldworth out of Quinnipiac University played for the D1 team as that was shot blockered aside by McBurney. Aldworth played for the Division 1 team and was part of the 2015-16 ECAC champion team that ended up going to the national championship game that year before falling. Whistle blows, the puck was loose, but the referee seemed to think that Noonan had it under the glove. A break for the Prowlers. They'll have to defend a defensive zone draw. Heading around the net, off the glass and out, gets through Vanelli, and icing called against the Prowlers. Will do it again in Port Huron territory. Graham and Storjahan on the faceoff. Schumacher takes it, rims it around towards Freeborn. Rogers pinched in to keep it deep. Comes to the slot, quick shot, and Kelly couldn't find the 4x6. Storjahan in front towards Kelly. He tipped it just wide. This line continues to be dangerous for the River Dragons. Led the offense last night, and they're trying to produce some more tonight as King takes the turnover. Poked off his stick by Heading and then takes a big hit from Dustin Heading. Comes out in front, saved by Noonan, I think. He was reaching back with the stick. It either hit his stick or the post. Either way, that puck stayed out as Storjahan put it on and Noonan steers it to the corner. Vanelli, wrist shot, goes wide. King tried to put it in front, but Schumacher kept it to the side. Lots of pressure from the River Dragons early on in this game. They already have a 1-0 lead. We're 8 minutes in. All the way over Vanelli, wrist shot, deflected on the way through. Storjahan recollects in the corner. Doe behind the net. To Vanelli. Long shift for these Prowlers as LaBelle winds and fires. Noonan couldn't handle the rebound, and Merritt got it out of the crease. Comes up to Sam Merritt, the only fresh Prowler on the ice, as the other four can finally head off for a change. Tucker Scantlebury fresh off the bench, couldn't get to that puck. Finally, Federley dumps it in. LaBelle off the boards to Vanelli. He gets it to Doe. Federley took it from him. LaBelle took a hit from Merritt as he reversed it. Federley cut off the pass, but comes right back to Josh LaBelle. Now Petrantonio into the Prowlers zone. Puts it deep. Minnie and Gill come together. Now Tucker Scantlebury through center, has a back checker, and it was Petrantonio who took it from him. Federley deep to Scantlebury. Now Tucker Scantlebury turns, tried to find Federley going to the net. It was cut off by Greco. Wickline put it on. Noonan saved. The rebound came out. Gill, a wraparound try. Noonan the save, and they made another on Oldworth. Couple of good saves by Joe Noonan. Looks like the net has come off its moorings in the Prowlers' end. And again, Port Huron gets a chance to breathe. Noonan made the first save, couldn't corral the rebound, then had to stop the wraparound from Doe and the slot shot from Oldworth. He got the pad on both. And he keeps this a 1-0 game with 10:30 to go in the first period. Underwood and Scantlebury got a jump, trying to get to their spots, and finally face-off is down. Scantlebury backhands it up the boards and out. Underwood goes to Ozelinch, and now Frageau. Tried to feed Oldworth, comes back to him. Oldworth comes all the way out to Ozelinch. Poked off his stick by Alex Johnson. And now Evan Foley moving up ice, off the boards to Johnson. That's Vartiainen, excuse me. Frageau to Wickline. That one cut off. But the Dragons able to recover and get it out. All the way over Oldworth. Couldn't corral that pass. Parsons quickly up to Devaney all by himself. He'll slow things down. And puck ends up in the near side corner. Graham. Taken away by Rogers. Now Graham steals it back, but Vanelli took his pass away. Sam Williams wearing number 9 tonight in the specialty jerseys. Typically number 55 put it on net, but it was deflected away by a River Dragons stick. Williams dumps it back in, 9:04 to go, first period. Kelly over to the near side, King. Looking for Kelly, but couldn't get the pass to him. King again on the far half wall. First shot from the point held on to by Joe Noonan. River Dragons already on the board. They have a 1-0 lead here at McMorran Place. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here at McMorran Place, 1-0 our score in favor of the Columbus River Dragons over the Port Huron Prowlers. Thomas Aldworth, the only one able to beat a goaltender tonight, as he beat Joe Noonan with a perfect shot picking the bottom corner under Noonan's glove. Comes around out of Freeborn's reach, and Justin Schmidt and Josh LaBelle will get back there for the icing. Few weeks ago, down in Columbus, Schmidt and Gino Mini squared off in a fight. And Schmidt took down Mini, but both guys got some real good punches in. Both doing some good damage. Wonder if we'll see that again tonight. But first we have King. His pass to the net blocked by Heading. Now Schumacher ripped it off of Graham. He wanted Dalton Jay up the right wing side, but a little friendly fire there as it hit Matt Graham on the way through. Kelly up to Storjahan. Here's King. Drop to Kelly, he shoots. Blocked on the way through. Prowlers trying to counter. Freeborn drops to Schumacher, shoots, and that one sticks to McBurney. He'll hold on with 7:50 to go in the period. Shots on goal in the early going 10-5 in favor of Columbus. River Dragons getting a lot of pressure in the Prowlers' end early in this game. Face off one to Johnson. He saw that one get through, but McBurney got the pad on it. Scantleberry finds the loose puck, trying to go around McBurney, puck's there! And Merritt couldn't get it home in the crease. Ozelich was down, blocking the net, but Sam Merritt had the puck go right by him in the goal crease as Scantleberry got McBurney down and out. Turnover again, but this time illegal. And the Prowlers will go to the PK. It will be Sam Merritt, 2 minutes for tripping. Actually, they have Austin Federley on the tripping call, so the Prowlers will go to the PK for the first time tonight. Their PK was 2 for 2 last night, now eighth in the FPHL at 77.4%. The River Dragons power play 0 for 2 last night, 20.7%. That's good for 4th in the FPHL. Graham and Jay up front, Williams and Minnie on defense for the Prowlers. Frageau, Storjahan, Kelly, Underwood, and it looks like King on the far side for the River Dragons. Here's Jay looking for a shorthanded opportunity. Over to Graham, takes the shot, saved by McBurney. Graham puts it back out in front, and Jay couldn't get a piece of that. Now Minnie sends it all the way down. Prowlers have killed a quarter of this penalty. Boy, that puck just went off of Dalton Jay's stick. And it's the second great opportunity for the Prowlers that they haven't been able to get a shot on goal off of. Frageau thought about the wrist shot, instead stands at the boards, gives to Storjahan. Now to Kelly in the corner. They switch spots. Storjahan has it again, put it in front towards Underwood. He's hassled by Adam Hainsel, and it comes back to Frageau. Storjahan with 53 to go on the penalty. Frageau a shot, blocked it away by Noonan. King keeps that puck in, sends it all the way near side to Storjahan. Trying to find Underwood in the slot, kicked away from him, and Scantlebury clears. 6 minutes to go, first period, 35 seconds left on the Federally minor penalty. Only 3 penalties all of last game between the two teams. A very clean game as far as these two teams and this league go. As that puck off the glass and out of play as Parsons was looking for the clear. 5:43 to go, first period, 21 seconds left on the River Dragons power play. Second unit out there for Columbus. That's Wickline, Aldworth, Petrantonio, LaBelle, and Doe. But here's Graham trying to catch up to that loose puck. But Doe got there first. Now it's a 3-on-2 for Columbus. Hainsel with a nice hip check. Dragons still get a good shot off, but Noonan makes the save. Graham all the way up, headman feed to Jay. Too far ahead of him, and McBurney plays it away. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as the Prowlers kill off the first penalty of the game. Doe with the feed to Aldworth. Now Petrantonio into the zone. Josh Petrantonio tried to feed the far side, had a man going to the net. Prowlers ice it. And going to the net was Cody Wickline. Wickline out of UMass Boston. His last hockey season before this one was 2017-18 as a sophomore at UMass Boston. Was injured in both his junior and senior years, but so he didn't play his last 2 years at UMass Boston, but now in the pros with the River Dragons. That puck down by the crease. In the pros with one of his former teammates at UMass Boston, the goalie at the end to our left, Bailey McBurney. Rogers sends it down towards Storjahan. Hainsel holds him up against the wall. Parsons chips it up to Freeborn. Leaves it for Graham. Matt Graham dumps it in right on McBurney, in and out of his glove. Vanelli moves it up the other way. Now Parsons is in his own end, stops up behind the net. Devaney moves up ice. Vartiainen catches up to it. Curls away from Rogers, back to the point. Schumacher drive, and a save by McBurney with the glove. 4:04 to go, first period, and the Prowlers trailing Columbus 1-0. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Back here at McMorran Place, 1-0 our score with 4:04 to go. First period. That last shot came from Frank Schumacher at the point. Returned to the lineup last night for the first time since November 5th and picked up an assist. His first helper of the season to go along with the 2 goals he has. This is game number 10 for him so far this year with the Prowlers. Bumped back to Schumacher. He puts it deep. Devaney in the corner. Trying to curl away from Frageau. Now Devaney will go after it in the far side corner. Comes to Devaney again. Puck just finding him. He gives to Schumacher. Now down low, Foley. Held up by Frejo. Puck was long gone, but no penalty called as that headband feed goes off of Schumacher's skate and on goal. Foley looking to the right wing side, but Wickline cut off the pass, and now Evan Foley has to defend. Underwood trying to find Aldworth going to the cage. It's deflected away. Underwood and Foley lock up behind the net. Schumacher with the puck. Now heading off the glass. Martiainen chops it to center. Under 3 minutes to go. First period. Devaney with a steal. Couldn't get the shot away as he tried to make a move between his own legs. Now Devaney passes it off to Merritt. Has Scantlebury going to the net. Takes the shot instead. And McBurney with a save. Rebound cleared. Minnie dumped it in and then put a reverse hit on Josh Petrantonio, who's trying to play the body. Meanwhile, here's Doe. Petrantonio to the point. LaBelle, his shot sent to the corner. Doe taken in by Johnson. Now LaBelle tried to feed it down low. Gill pushed off by Federley. Shot comes in again. Doesn't get all the way through. Gill to Doe, over to Petrantonio. He fanned on it, and the net is off its moorings, and Josh Petrantonio unhappy with that as Joe Noonan was sliding across that net came off. Although Noonan did make the save on Petrantonio's slight attempt at the net. Now we have Michael Greco with words for the Prowlers bench. He's still talking as he lines up next to Alex Johnson, gives Johnson a shove. Remember, Greco a few weeks ago knocked Alex Johnson out of the game. Greco ended up with a game misconduct in that one. Johnson chased by Greco. Gives the pass up to Federley. Scantlebury into the zone. To the backhand. Couldn't find a friendly stick in front, but finds the puck again. Hopped over Federley's stick in the corner. He goes after it with Greco. Now LaBelle over to Kelly. Off the boards to Storjahan and out. Storjahan with a shot held by Noonan. Minute 37 to go, first period.
Desmond, Cece, Mason, and Dominic to tonight's game, as well as a very big thank you to Zayas Painting for being such a wonderful sponsor of the Prowlers this year.
Graham and Storjahan set to take the draw in the Prowlers' end. Kelly to the point, LaBelle quickly puts it down low. 90 seconds to go, first period of a 1-0 game. Comes to Graham. Now Freeborn. Feeds back to Matt Graham. Couldn't put it on net as a diving LaBelle got a stick on it. Parsons and Storjahan cancel out at center. King and Williams. And Williams threw a hit on Lane King. Puck pops out ahead of the goal line, and now Kelly shot from the slot. Blocked away by Noonan. And from his stomach, Liam Freeborn able to get the puck out to center. Final minute of play, first period. Kelly just puts it softly deep. Williams to Parsons behind the net. Brian Parsons up to Dalton J. Rink wide to Foley. That one chipped off of Freeborn's stick and over top of the glass, out of play with 38.6 seconds to go in the first period. Prowlers looking for one more opportunity before the period expires. A much better period on the scoreboard than their game so far this season against Columbus. Schumacher wrists it deep. Devaney to Foley. As the Prowlers work below the goal line, Devaney curling away from pressure, 24 seconds up on the clock. Poked further, Vartiainen. Taken in by Aldworth. Now Larry tried to give it to Devaney. Finds Joe Devaney now. Heading at the point, deflected and out of play. Exactly 6 seconds up on the clock. So Prowlers will have one more opportunity before this period expires. Devaney lined up right behind Evan Foley. Puck sat there. River Dragons take it out. Gill will skate it into Prowler territory, and that will be the end of the first period. Well, 20 minutes down, and the Prowlers are down 1-0 to the Columbus River Dragons after the first period of play. Shots on goal in that first period, 16 for the River Dragons and 10 for the Port Huron Prowlers. And Thomas Aldworth, the only one able to beat a goaltender in that first period with his 5th of the season. Well, get your holiday gifts at the Prowlers official team store located at the west end of McMorran Arena. The store is open every game all season long, featuring t-shirts, sweatshirts, koozies, socks, and more. Youth hoodies and mini sticks are also back in stock. Rep your team in style with gear from the Prowlers team store. We have a special interview with the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics Michigan coming up in this intermission, so stick around, you won't want to miss it. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel. Back here at McMorran Place, one period down here, and the Prowlers trailing the Columbus River Dragons. Well, it's a special night for the Port Huron Prowlers as they sponsor the law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics Michigan, and I have Heidi Doran with me here with the torch run, who helped design these beautiful jerseys that the Prowlers are wearing tonight. So I want to start off, just tell me a little bit about the torch run.
So the Law Enforcement Torch Run is the largest grassroots fundraising entity for Special Olympics Michigan and actually worldwide. So we are totally dedicated to raising funds and awareness for Special Olympics Michigan.
So you guys are selling those jerseys. Those are going to be auctioned off after the game, and you have these beautiful, beautiful pucks here that the Prowlers are using tonight that are also being sold. But tell us a little bit about how the logo and the jerseys came together with the Grinch theme.
So this is our 4th year partnering with the Prowlers, our 3rd year doing the ugly Christmas sweater jerseys, and so we kind of had this idea to do the Grinch, and so we partnered with Tom from Dangle Sauce and sort of went through several versions before we finally got to this wonderful version here.
Well, everything looks fantastic. I love the logo, I love the jersey, and I hope everyone else does. The auction after the game, and of course the pucks tonight also being sold. So all that money being raised for a good cause. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Will. Thank you so much.
Back here at McMorran Place, Will Wiggleman with you. We just had a nice interview with Heidi Doran from the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics, who the Prowlers are benefiting tonight with specialty jerseys and specialty pucks. And they have their table set up. It's very busy over by the Prowlers team store. Well, before we get into that first period, let's take a look around the FPHL. No games have yet dropped the puck. This is the early one for the FPHL tonight, but most of them getting started in just a couple of minutes. The Motor City Rockers are in Danbury. The Delaware Thunder are in Binghamton. Both of those teams looking to recover from 7-2 losses last night to the respective home teams, and both of those games get started at 7 o'clock in just about a minute. Coming up in about a half hour, Elmira visits Watertown. The Wolves snapping a losing skid last night with their 3-1 win over the Mammoth. And then the Carolina Thunderbirds and Mississippi Seawolves battle down in Biloxi at 7:05 p.m. Central Time. So that's 8 o'clock Port Huron time. The Thunderbirds with a goal in the final seconds of the third period to pull out a 6-5 win last night. A heartbreaker for the Mississippi Seawolves, trying to snap a lengthy losing skid. And of course here, it is 1-0 Columbus through 20 minutes of play. Thomas Aldworth, the only one to beat a goaltender. He scored 5.5 minutes into the first period, and that continued a bit of a trend that the River Dragons have had against the Prowlers this season with early goals. Luckily for Port Huron, though, it didn't spiral out of control as we have seen in the previous meetings between these teams this season. In Columbus, in that first game, it was 5-0 before the end of the first period, and in the second game, it was 2-0 and then 4-0 early on in the second, and then last night 3-0 through 20 minutes of play. Prowlers only trailing by 1 as we get set for the middle 20 minutes. River Dragons outshot the Prowlers 16-10 in that first period. Austin Federley picking up the only penalty, a 2-minute tripping minor. Joe Noonan made 15 saves for the Prowlers, while in the other net, Bailey McBurney stopped all 10 Prowlers shots. So the Prowlers will look to climb a mountain that's not quite as tall as the ones they have seen and the ones they've faced against Columbus so far this season. And we'll see if they can get on the board here in the second period and unleash the Teddy Bears here on Teddy Bear Toss Night. As the River Dragons hit the ice to the Grinch song. Of course, the Prowlers jerseys tonight are Grinch inspired, as you heard from Heidi Doran between periods. Grinch inspired jerseys, and of course we have our Grinch inspired graphics up here with the Prowlers logo on the broadcast all night long. So both teams hitting the ice for period 2. McBurney slides into the net to our right. He and the River Dragons wearing their white road jerseys against these Prowlers specialty ugly sweater uniforms. Last year they went white with the ugly sweater uniforms. This year, more of a black uniform. So we're just about set for second period action as Graham and Sturgeon, as they did in the first, get set to draw to open the middle frame. Goalies set, off ice officials set, and we're set for second period action from McMorran Place. As we're just waiting for something, not sure what it was, but they've decided to drop the puck. And the Prowlers looking for the first opportunity as Freeborn dumps it in. Popped up, heading, walks the line, backhands it towards the net. Ozelich tried to glove it down, went past him. Sturgeon recovers it. Kelly took a hit from Schumacher pinching in. Freeborn keeps the puck in the zone. Graham looking up, finds Schumacher, but the pass was on his backhand, so he couldn't one-time it. Now Schumacher popped it back out in front. It drops in front of McBurney, and he'll cover up just 40 seconds into period 2. Both teams making full changes before this face-off, the first changes of the period. Merritt line coming out for the Prowlers, Petrantonio line for the River Dragons, and Merritt wins the draw. Mini a wrist shot, deflected wide. Federley tried to put it out in front. Now a shot from the point, saved by McBurney. He's able to hold on with Scantleberry digging for the rebound. Tucker Scantleberry pointless in back-to-back games, although the game before yesterday he was ejected just a minute and 50 seconds in. He's looking to get back on the score sheet. 17 points in 14 games for him as a Prowler this season. Gill off the glass and out. Minnie tried to put it right back in, so he passed it off to Merritt, but Scantleberry thought the dump was coming, and he came in offside. Prowlers with the first 3 shots of this second period, still chasing the game though. It's a 1-0 River Dragons lead, 59 seconds into period 2. Dump steered aside by McBurney. Got past Johnson, and now Gill to the backhand, trying to tuck it around Noonan. Couldn't do it. Puck loose in the near corner. Minnie tried to find an outlet pass, cut off by Vanelli. Takes the shot, and Noonan holds on. Adam Vanelli, goalless in his last 8 games and just 1 assist in that span. Member of the 2021-22 Young Stars squad, Adam Vanelli. As Williams sends it to the far side. Wickline tried to move up the boards. Vartiainen couldn't get it out. Here's Oldworth. Tried to wrap it in front. Instead it comes to Wickline on the near side. To the point, LaBelle. Lines and fires. Went wide. And it's tipped into River Dragons ice. We approach 2 minutes into period 2. Greco got it to Underwood, quickly to Aldworth. Aldworth put it on, deflected, and Noonan made the save and held on. LaBelle at the point. Moved down to King. Tried to feed it across. Taken away by Freeborn. Finds Jay, but puck just slipped away from him as Josh LaBelle was back checking. Kelly to LaBelle. Jay trying to take it from him in the corner, and he does. Dalton Jay around the net. Put it on. McBurney got down to make the save. King couldn't get it out momentarily, but now Storjahan does. Feeds to Kelly. Had to come back for that pass, but the waffle board save by Noonan goes out of play. And we'll have a face-off. 17-13 to go in the second period. Graham and Petrantonio in the face-off circle. Coach against captain, and head coach Matt Graham wins the face-off. Ozelich tried to put it on net, but Schumacher cut it off. Puck hops high up over the glass and out of play into the seats. It's not the direction Prowlers were planning on things going tonight. They wanted things to come from the seats onto the ice, those things being teddy bears and stuffed animals for the Prowlers' first goal on Teddy Bear Toss night. Not yet, though. Still lots of time, though, in the game. As Ozelich puts it out to center. Gill in deep. Henning reverses to Schumacher. Freeborn collects and moves up ice. Liam Freeborn, lots of River Dragons back, goes to the backhand. What a goal! What a play! Jay, saved by McBurney. Boy, Liam Freeborn dangled his way through, but couldn't pot the biscuit. Prowlers still searching for that goal. And now Doe, as Schumacher got tangled up with a River Dragon. Big save by Joe Noonan. Up the other way, here's Schumacher. Drops to Jay, but was too far ahead of him. Johnson at the point, walks in, shoots, saved by McBurney. Everyone clutching those teddy bears as the Prowlers get a couple of good opportunities, but Bailey McBurney coming up large. Federally into the zone, takes the shot, and Rogers makes the save, blocking it before it got through. He winds and fires into the zone. Noonan made the save, but it didn't matter as the play was offsides at the Prowler line. 15:47 to go, second period. And Bailey McBurney with a couple of big saves, keeping the Prowlers off the scoreboard. Prowlers didn't beat McBurney until the third period of the game he started, of the two-game set they played in Columbus. Now turned over, they score! Alex Johnson had some trouble with that puck. Cody Wickline took it from him, and the River Dragons have doubled their lead. It's 2-0. Wickline had a goal and 2 assists last night, and now picks up his 6th tally of the season. 15:39 to go, second period. Rogers off the boards to Prowler territory. Parsons sends Federley the dump, but Austin Federley deflected that out of play. So we'll have a face-off 4.5 minutes into period 2. Face-off will come back at center ice. Merritt and Storjahan sliding in for it. Parsons goes over to Hansel. Merritt tried to force it across. Kelly blocked it. Now Parsons chasing after it with Storjahan. Brian Parsons able to one-hand it to the boards. Hansel took a big hit from King behind the net. Puck fed up to Federley. Kelly came back to take it away from Austin Federley. Now it's turned over. Here is Federley, shoots and a save by McBurney. Scantleberry around, cycles for Merritt. Back to Scantleberry, too hard, and the puck hopped off his stick right to McBurney, and he'll hold on with 14:47 to go in the second period. Cody Wickline has the Columbus River Dragons up by a pair here in the second. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Back here in Port Huron, 14:47 to go, second period, and the Prowlers trailing the Columbus River Dragons 2-0. Offensive zone draw for the Prowlers' top line of Foley, Devaney, and Vartiainen. Going up against the River Dragons' top line, at least this weekend, Storjahan, King, and Kelly. Parsons tried to put it on net, blocked by LaBelle. Now LaBelle gloves it down. 2-on-1 for Columbus, but King couldn't receive that pass. And the River Dragons were offsides. King was standing there hoping that his team could get back on sides. Instead, here's Foley. Takes the shot. McBurney just got the knob of the stick on it. Storjahan with two Prowlers back. And Parsons poked it away. Devaney sent it to his own corner. He was turned around. King tried to feed it in front to Kelly. That was cut off. LaBelle had some trouble with it at the point. He'll dump it back. 6 minutes into period 2 as Brian Parsons steps out from behind his own cage. Devaney steps around his man, shoots, and he missed it just wide. Foley in front of Devaney, and he fanned on that one-time attempt. Puck still bouncing around down there. Kelly able to lift it out. Schumacher kicked it, but right to Wickline. Has Doe going to the net. Wickline to Doe. Great save by Noonan. Jay the other way. One-on-one with Ozilic. Dalton Jay poked off his stick by the veteran Latvian. Freeborn one-hands it to Henning at the point. His blast was blocked by Wickline. Now Doe up. Drops to Wickline. Tried to feed it all the way across to Frageau. It got there. He goes to Ozilic at the point. Cycled deep to Wickline. Across to Ozilic. Has some space in his rising shot. Found glass. Puck out to center. Frageau put it back in only momentarily. Here's Dalton Jay with a step to the backhand. Save, rebound, and Freeborn couldn't bury it. Oh, Liam Freeborn had the wide open net and he just hit the side of it. Prowlers will go to the power play. What a missed opportunity for one of the hottest Prowlers right now, Liam Freeborn. You know he'll be seeing that one in his nightmares. But a 2-minute hooking call against Ozilic for the work he did on Dalton Jay. Prowlers send out the Foley unit with Vartiainen, Scantlebury, Devaney, and Federley. The 8th ranked power play in the FPHL at 18.4% goes up against the top ranked penalty kill at 91%, and the PK able to clear for Columbus. It's Aldworth, Petrantonio, Greco, and Rogers to start the kill for the River Dragons. Devaney into the zone, taken off his stick by Rogers. Joe Devaney keeps working. Now Scantlebury. Down low to Foley. Back to Scantlebury. Couldn't corral the bouncing puck, and the River Dragons able to get to center. Petrantonio trying to chase after that puck with Federley. Austin Federley does all he can to push him off. Petrantonio's wraparound attempt stopped by Noonan. And the Prowlers settle things down. 45 seconds into the man advantage, just past 8 minutes into period 2. Vartiainen down low to Foley. Back to Larry Vartiainen, across to Devaney. Back to Vartiainen, saved by McBurney. And Larry tried to force it back in front. What a save by Bailey McBurney, sliding from right to left to rob Larry Vartiainen. And it's as if McBurney knows it's teddy bear toss night and wants to do everything he can to make sure the teddy bears don't come down. He's made a few beautiful saves against the Prowlers and gotten some luck. 59 seconds to go on the man advantage for Port Huron. Jay and Graham digging in there, along with Merritt. Now King able to find that puck, send it all the way down. 45 seconds now on the Prowlers power play. Merritt, Graham, Jay, Freeborn, and Johnson. This unit for Port Huron. Storjahan, King, out there with Frageau and Vanelli. Here's Jay, winds and fires. And McBurney makes the save with the glove. 28 seconds left to go in the Ozelinch penalty. Prowlers have had pressure, but still unable to beat Bailey McBurney. They're now up on shots, the Prowlers are, 25-24. Face-off one back to Johnson. He walks, gives to Jay, back to Alex Johnson. Over to Freeborn, takes the shot, deflected high, and hits the netting out of play. A tick over 9 minutes into period 2. 18 seconds left on the Prowlers' man advantage. Still searching for their first goal of the game. Merritt gives it back to Johnson, but it hopped over his stick. Prowlers will have to exit the zone. Freeborn walks back in to Graham, across towards Jay. Puck's there, and it's cleared out by the River Dragons. Back to 5-on-5. Here's Graham to Merritt. Couldn't go back to Graham. Puck hops out in front. Jay looking for it. And now King, all by himself, has Ozelinch going to the net lane. King over to Ozelinch, too far ahead. Freeborn into the zone, drops it to Graham. Tried to feed it all the way across. That hit a stick, and another breakaway. This time Storjahan walks in, and I think Noonan got a piece of that one. And now Devaney fresh off the bench on a breakaway. Save, rebound, and McBurney got that too. Up and down action just after we go back to 5-on-5. Past the midway point of the second period, and we'll take a breath as Schumacher settles things down. Greco took Vartiainen into the wall. Now LaBelle over to Underwood. Feeds it up to Aldworth. Stopped up. Found the puck again. Underwood took the pass from Wickline heading to the net. And a penalty coming against Frank Schumacher as he got the stick in the skates of Kirk Underwood. And the Prowlers will go to the penalty kill for the second time tonight when we come back. 9:30 to go, second period in a 2-0 game. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I'm proud to serve farmers because I'm proud.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here in Port Huron, 9:30 to go, second period, and the Prowlers will be down a man. So it's actually Larry Vartiainen off for high sticking. So maybe a different play where the penalty came than what I originally thought. I thought it was on Schumacher, but it ends up being against Larry Vartiainen. LaBelle at the point. And now Aldworth stepping around. Federle got a shot on the save. Rebound, another save from Joe Noonan. Comes out to Doe. Quick shot in and out of Noonan's glove, and Foley clears. Foley and Federle out there. Now Austin Federle will take a change from Matt Graham. Schumacher and Henning, the defense pair for the Prowlers. Doe, Aldworth, Petrantonio, LaBelle, and Wickline, the unit for the River Dragons to start this power play. Here's LaBelle, winds and fires, blocked by Graham. He'll chase after it. Has LaBelle still in front of him. And now Matt Graham stops up, took a shove from LaBelle. River Dragons start a breakout. Approaching the midway point of the penalty to Larry Vartiainen. As Aldworth almost gave it away. Now Graham comes in. Big hit on Aldworth, and Matt Graham is going to get a penalty for that. And I'm not sure why. Interference is the call. Aldworth did have the puck, and just as he passed it off, Matt Graham came in and threw the hit. So it will be a 5-on-3 for the Columbus River Dragons for the next 55 seconds. A big chance for the River Dragons to extend this lead. 50 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Here's Fregeau. Down low to King. All the way up towards Kelly, down low. And one more pass was one too many. River Dragons will have to start again. Here's Fregeau. Down low. Down the boards to Underwood. To the top to Fregeau. Cross to King. Back to Fregeau. 22 seconds on the 5-on-3. King to the slot. Kelly, shoulder save by Noonan. Minnie and Storjahan battling behind the net. Storjahan out towards Fregeau. Williams all the way out to challenge. Now Minnie put a hit on Storjahan. Kelly took the puck, and then Williams was taken out by Storjahan behind the net, and Storjahan slammed by Minnie into the cage. That will draw a crowd. Minnie trying to get after Storjahan. He's being held back by Lane King. A linesman goes down, and King and Minnie go down almost on top of him. Minnie wants Storjahan, and the linesmen are not going to allow that. Well, the original penalty was coming against Alex Storjahan. And what I'm going to guess is interference when he took out Sam Williams. And we'll see how this all gets settled out. Lane King heading to the box, so is Gino Minnie. And Minnie still barking at Storjahan as he goes over there. So Minnie and Storjahan and King, the three in the box, heading to the box after that play. Prowlers penalty box is crowded now. 3 players in there, 2 in the Columbus penalty box, but 3 Prowlers will be in there for only 2 more seconds as Larry Vartiainen is set to step out. Gino still with plenty of words for Storjahan and King, who are barking back as the captains Petrantonio and Henning get the words from the referee. 7:32 to go, second period of a 2-goal game. No penalties have been put up on the board yet if I were to guess, which I'm usually wrong, but I would guess that King and Minnie's penalties cancel out, and then Storjahan is the only one with a penalty put up, because again, he was the original call. The arm was up for Storjahan as he blocked Williams' path behind the net, as Sam Williams was trying to chase the puck. He blocked his path. That was the original penalty, and Minnie didn't like that, so he went after Storjahan, and it all broke loose from there. Referees still discussing here. Now 2 minutes up on the board on the River Dragons side. And that's all we have up there on the board right now, although couldn't tell you right now if Gino Mini might have gotten an extra penalty, which I don't think he did. But, and based on where the face-off is, it's going to be in Columbus territory. So I'm going to say I think I was right with guessing that King and Minnie's penalties offset, and then Storjahan gets the extra 2. And by extra, I mean the original 2. Foley and Wickline set to draw. Right now it's 4-on-3 for another 2 seconds, and then it will be 4-on-4 for a minute 5, and then a Prowlers abbreviated power play for, I believe, 53 seconds as Parsons' shot easily stopped by McBurney, and here's 4-on-4. Rogers feeds it up to Wickline. Quickly one touchdown for Aldworth. Into the zone. He stops up. Aldworth shielding the puck from Parsons. Gives to Vanelli. Rogers to Vanelli. Fanned on the first attempt to get it deep. Puck still bouncing around. And now it's Frank Schumacher with a step. Schumacher in. Saved by McBurney with the blocker. Wickline through center. Drops it off. Vanelli goes to the backhand. He hit the post. Puck bounced past Rogers looking for the rebound. Now Freeborn has Dalton J all by himself. He scores! Here come the Teddy Bears. Dalton J on the breakaway, and the Prowlers are on the board. And let's see how well I can throw my teddy bear here from the box. I actually have a sloth, courtesy of Joe Noonan, who didn't know he was starting tonight, so he brought a sloth to toss onto the ice. Well, I hit the concourse, gonna need someone to come clean that up for me. But the Teddy Bears are on the ice here in Port Huron. It's Dalton J with the Teddy Bear tossing goal, his team high 13th of the season, picking the corner over McBurney's glove on the breakaway. The Bears are still coming from the stands. We'll still be 4-on-4 when this is all cleaned up, said and done. Oh boy, we have some big ones coming down here. That one over by the penalty boxes that you just saw a moment ago in frame. That one, I saw that one sitting in its own seat earlier before the game. And once again, all of these teddy bears being donated to the McLaren Hospital, where they'll go to children staying in the hospital. So a great cause for the Prowlers to support. And we thank all the fans for bringing all the teddy bears and stuffed animals to donate this evening. 2 more piles left to go, both in the Prowlers zone. Well, this isn't the first teddy bear toss the Prowlers have been involved in this season. Last weekend in Carolina, the Thunderbirds had their teddy bear toss game. And it's not going to be the last, because the Elmira Mammoth have announced that their teddy bear toss game will be the day after Christmas, Boxing Day to some. That's December 26th. The Prowlers are in Elmira that day. So another teddy bear toss supposedly to come, although we'll see if the Mammoth can score on the Prowlers in that game. That's always been my big question about teddy bear tosses, is what do they do if the home team doesn't score? And I'll be honest, I was getting a little bit nervous with the number of prime opportunities the Prowlers had without scoring. Finally, Dalton J able to break the 0 on the board and beat McBurney. And of course, a reminder about that game in Elmira. We will have it here for you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel, as we do every single game, home and away, and even neutral site games, which we will have 2 of. The first one coming up next week in Baton Rouge against the Mississippi Seawolves, and the other one on January 2nd, also against Mississippi in Baton Rouge, as Petrantonio right off the draw has iced the puck. I'm not sure if he knew exactly the situation or if he just put it too hard or the wrong angle off the boards, but either way, Prowlers with an offensive zone faceoff and 4 seconds away from a power play, with Matt Graham set to step out of the box and join the rest of his power play unit. Ozelich up to Doe. Now Doe into the zone short-handed. His shot blocked. Graham tried to push it forward. Petrantonio blocked it. Now the Prowlers with 40 seconds to go in the man advantage will move up ice. Here's Jay into the zone. Steps around Greco. Dalton Jay, the goal scorer for the Prowlers, drops to Johnson. Down low, Graham feeds it across. Freeborn couldn't get a stick on it. Good defense from Petrantonio, and he moves up ice. Drop to Doe. Back to Petrantonio. He fumbled at that puck. He had Noonan diving all the way across, but just couldn't pull the trigger. Here's Freeborn stopping up. Final seconds ticking off of the Prowlers' power play. Here's Merritt. Back to 5-on-5. Graham behind the net in front, and Johnson pushed it just wide through a sea of bodies. Graham all the way across to Johnson. Shoots! He was looking for Freeborn. Stick couldn't find it. Pucks went wide, and now it's back out to center. 5:13 to go for second period. Schumacher cut it off at the blue line. Prowlers just able to keep it on sides as they dump it back in. Henning kept it in at the point on the near side. Now Storjahan going to skate it to center. River Dragons have numbers, but Storjahan's pass knocked away by Schumacher. Here's Foley battling with Greco for it, and Michael Greco is going to get a penalty. Prowlers will head back to the power play with 4:41 to go in the second period, as Minnie and King stepping out of the boxes and they head back to their benches. We will take a timeout. The Teddy Bears have hit the ice here at McMorran Place, and the Prowlers just trail by 1. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Prowlers power play with an opportunity to tie the game. 4:41 to go, second period. After Dalton J scored the teddy bear goal just a couple of minutes ago, the Foley unit on this man advantage gets set to try and not the score before we head to intermission. Frageau able to clear it all the way down right off the face-off. Devaney dangles into the zone, takes the shot, and it hit a stick and goes out of play. Just 19 seconds into the man advantage for the Prowlers on Michael Greco's 2-minute hooking penalty. Fourth most penalized player in terms of minutes in the FPHL this season. Now up to 83 minutes. Scantlebury behind the net. Up to the top, Devaney. Over to Federley, off his stick and out of the zone. Austin Federley tries to turn back up ice. Here he comes, dancing through a couple of River Dragons. Takes the shot and a glove save by McBurney. Federley almost had that shot going back across, shooting back across the grain as he moved to his left, shot to his right, but McBurney got the glove out. Scantlebury had it knocked off his stick. Sorjahan gave it away to Foley. Evan Foley to Devaney. Walks down the half wall. Now up top, Federley, back to Devaney, all the way across to Vartiainen. Federley at the point, shoots, saved by McBurney. The rebound was there. Sorjahan's clearing attempt blocked by Vartiainen. Now Sorjahan trying to send Kelly on his way. Diving play by Vartiainen. Keeps that pass from connecting. 44 seconds left on the power play for the Prowlers. Now 3:20 to go in the second period. Here's Scantlebury. Over to Foley. Stops up, gives to Vartiainen. Larry Vartiainen down low to Scantlebury. Tried to feed it in front. And now Underwood. Short-handed, tried to give it over to Kelly, passed too far ahead of him. Comes right back to Jacob Kelly. He gives it to center to Rogers, who holds, trying to kill off the final seconds of this power play. Freeborn knocked it away. And now Freeborn with a pass in front to Jay, and he just tipped it wide. Power play expired for the Prowlers, but they got a good chance right there at the end. That shot from Henning blocked on the way through. Dustin Henning couldn't hold it in. Kelly tried to find Greco fresh out of the box. Schumacher behind his own net. Reverses it to Henning. And now up to Freeborn. Graham over to Schumacher. Couldn't feed it in front. Gill skating after it. Now Gill driving the net, and Noonan makes the save. Puck gets by Vanelli, but icing waved off. Under 2 minutes to go, second period of a one-goal game at McMorran Place. Parsons able to get it out. Federley chasing after it. He gets there first. Austin Federley played it off the back of the net. Vanelli took a hit from Sam Merritt coming in. And then Federley knocked down Petrantonio. Federley tried to feed in front, and McBurney with a big pad save on Scantlebury. Parsons just couldn't keep that puck in, and Merritt played it. So offsides is called against the Prowlers with 1:19 to go in the second period. Boy, Bailey McBurney has made some key saves for the River Dragons so far tonight. Prowlers throwing everything they can at him, and just one goal to show for it on 34 shots. River Dragons, meanwhile, 1 goal on 30 shots against Joe Noonan, making his first start of the season. Aldworth taken down. Arms don't go up. McBurney thought the arms were going to go up. He started heading to the bench and then realized. Wickline tried to give it to Underwood. Parsons poked it away. LaBelle's shot blocked on the way through. And now Scantlebury starts a 3-on-2 if they hurry for the Prowlers. Scantlebury dances to the middle, put it on. McBurney the save. Federley played it off the side of the net. Now Merritt. McBurney held the post on that one. Lifted to center and then back in. And now an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty coming against somebody. It looks like it's going to be a River Dragon. I'm not sure which one. Maybe it's Bailey McBurney because nobody's going to the box. 39.1 seconds up on the clock. I'm not sure what Bailey McBurney did to garner an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But that seems to be the call with nobody heading to the box. I mean, Josh LaBelle is going there now, but I think he's going to serve it. There's 4 minutes up on the clock. I'm not sure if that's right. 4 minutes up on the penalty clock, and they'll take that down and switch it to 2 minutes. So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty puts the Prowlers on the power play. Oh no, it is 4 minutes. So 4 minutes on the penalty clock, and the Prowlers will be on the man advantage. Federley moved it down to Vartiainen. Foley all the way across as McBurney gets a 4-minute double minor for unsportsmanlike conduct. So the Prowlers with a big chance to even this game. Even if they don't score the next 15 seconds of this period, they'll still have a lot of time to start the third. Devaney into the zone to Scantlebury, but it hopped over his stick. Vartiainen put it back on, kick save by McBurney, cleared out, and that's going to do it for the second period here from McMorran Place. Each team picking up a goal in that middle frame. So after 2 periods of play, it's still a 1-goal game, 2-1 for the Columbus River Dragons. As there's a fight going on in the tunnel right now. McBurney was there, but he wasn't the one throwing punches. It was a River Dragon skater that was throwing punches at one of the Prowlers who was getting off the ice. I'm not sure what started that, but there was a Prowler on the ice who was taking punches from a River Dragon who was standing off the ice. So they'll let the Prowlers exit the ice first. And then the River Dragons will. Oh boy, a little bit of chaos. I didn't see who that was. I couldn't tell the number from all the way up here. I did see McBurney there trying to step in between and keep the peace a little bit. But either way, oh boy, some fireworks as we head to the dressing rooms. We'll see if some penalties come from that, but as of right now, it's a Prowlers power play when we begin the third period of play. Well, secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game as they take on these Columbus River Dragons on December 22nd with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com or by calling the box office at 810-985-6166. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets or by calling the box office at 810-985-6166. 2-1 Dragons as we head to the second intermission. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel. second intermission continues here from McMorran Place as the Prowlers trail the Columbus River Dragons by a score of 2-1. There's a lot to unpack from that final minute of play in the middle period. And of course, a couple of goals during the period. We'll get to that in just a second, but first, a look around the FPHL. We start in Binghamton, where the Black Bears holding a 2-0 lead on the Delaware Thunder early in the second period. Motor City and Danbury just finished up the first period. 1-1 the score in that game in Danbury, Connecticut. In Watertown, the Wolves hold a 1-0 lead on the Elmira Mammoth with about 8 minutes to go in the first period. And the Carolina Thunderbirds and Mississippi Seawolves are just a minute or so away from dropping the puck at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. And of course here, once again, it's a 2-1 game at McMorran Place. Well, Cody Wickline took advantage of the puck not working for Alex Johnson. Johnson was trying to settle down the puck, make a pass, make a move, do something, and none of it worked. And he had it stolen from him by Cody Wickline, who went in and scored. That extended the River Dragons lead to 2-0, 4:21 into period 2. But then later in that frame, after Bailey McBurney stoned so many great Prowler chances all night long, finally Dalton Jay able to beat him on a breakaway, beating him high over the glove, picking that top corner, and the Teddy Bears were released onto the ice here at McMorran Place. If you want to know how far mine flew, well, I didn't make it all the way to the ice from up here in the broadcast booth, but I at least didn't hit a fan. I got it as far as the concourse. Luckily, one of the very helpful fans here at McMorran Place helped me out and got it on the ice. So Dalton Jay released the Teddy Bears this year after Alex Johnson did it last season, and that's where we stand. A 2-1 score heading into the third, and now to unpack everything from the final minute of that second period. Well, the Prowlers will start the third with 3 minutes and 20 seconds of power play time, and that's because Bailey McBurney picked up an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and then picked up another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in the same sequence. I'm assuming it's something that he said, and I'm also going to assume that the second penalty came after something he said possibly to the referee after the first penalty was called. But either way, Prowlers 3 minutes and 20 seconds of power play time on Bailey McBurney's 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. And then we saw right at the end of the period, as both teams were heading off the ice, there was a River Dragon along with McBurney, River Dragon skater and McBurney in the tunnel. Prowlers were trying to go off and punches were exchanged. I've received word that that River Dragon was Edgar's Ozelinch, and he has been given a 5-minute misconduct and a game misconduct. So I believe what that should mean is that the Prowlers will have a 5-on-3 for 3 minutes and 20 seconds, a prime opportunity to tie up this hockey game. And we will have all of that for you coming up in just a couple of minutes. Shots on goal in that second period, 26 for Port Huron, 14 for Columbus, and for the game, 36-30 in favor of the Prowlers. Well, the River Dragons set there in the tunnel to head out. Looks like everybody staying in place this time around to come out for the third period, and we will have that third period when we return. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Will Wiggleman back here with you at McMorran Place, just about a minute from puck drop in this third period between the Prowlers and the Columbus River Dragons. It's the second of two matchups between these two teams this weekend in Port Huron. The River Dragons took last night's meeting by a final of 5-3. Tonight, a lower scoring game, and that's favoring the Prowlers, as the River Dragons have scored 5 goals in each of the previous 3 meetings this season, but only 2 through 2 periods of play. And for the Prowlers against Columbus, the third period has been their strongest. So we'll see if they can come out, tie the game, and maybe send these fans home happy after they toss the Teddy Bears out onto the ice in that second period on Dalton Jay's breakaway goal. The Prowlers and the River Dragons set back on the ice as Joe Noonan steps into the net to our right. He's been stellar tonight, as has Bailey McBurney, tucked under the crossbar to our left. So in the box right now, Josh LaBelle, who's serving the McBurney penalty. Justin Schmidt joins him to serve for Edgar Zozelinch, who has again been given a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. The 5-minute major is listed for fighting. No Prowlers were given penalties in that exchange. So it's a 5-on-3 for Port Huron for the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And they send out the Foley unit, the top unit. Although Dalton Jay out there instead of Larry Vartiainen. Storjahan, Frejo, and Underwood, the 3 killers for the River Dragons. Comes up to Jay. He slows it down, gives to Federley. Over to Devaney. They switch spots. Devaney down low. Foley into the slot. Scantleberry scores! That didn't take long. The Prowlers tie it up just 18 seconds into period 3. Well, the 5-on-3 was something the Prowlers practiced this week. And I was talking to head coach Matt Graham about it, and he said, you know, the 5-on-3 is something that you're not sure if you need to practice all that often, because you don't know how many times you're going to get into that situation. Well, the Prowlers are in that situation, and the practice paid off as Tucker Scantleberry scores his 9th goal of the season, his 4th power play goal of the year. And he knots this score up at 2, and now we're just figuring out how to put the penalties back up on the clock, because that erases the rest of the first minor from Bailey McBurney, but there's still another minor to be killed off. It will still be a 5-on-3 for the Prowlers, but the clock goes down on McBurney to 2 minutes now. It was 3 minutes and change when that goal was scored. So it goes down to 2 minutes, still 4:42 to go on the penalty to Ozolish being served by Justin Schmidt. Prowlers 5-on-3, still for the next 2 minutes with a chance to take their first lead against the River Dragons this season. In the fourth game against the FPHL's top team. Here's Jay, walks in over to Scantlebury, puck loose, and Devaney finds it. Federley to Devaney. Walks across, tried to feed Jay, slipped through his legs. Foley recovers below the goal line. Now Federley on the sideboards. Over to Devaney, lots of movement for the Prowlers on this power play. Federley over to Devaney, save, rebound, and they score! It's Scantlebury again, causing havoc in front. He bangs home the loose change. The Prowlers have taken the lead. Two goals in 38 seconds for the Port Huron Prowlers, both of them 5-on-3 goals, and they have their first lead against the Columbus River Dragons this season. And for Tucker Scantlebury, goals number 9 and 10 on the year, and power play goals number 4 and 5 on the season. And it's still a 5-on-4 man advantage for the Prowlers for the next 4 minutes as Johnson's shot deflected wide. Graham feeds it down low towards Merritt. Jay challenged that puck. Now Jay on the turnover. Trying to settle that puck down. Sends it around to the far side. Graham just keeps it in at the line. Freeborn slows things down. Right back to Matt Graham. Curls back. Gives to Freeborn again. Freeborn all the way across. Jay in front. Merritt scores! How about this Prowlers power play? Sam Merritt, the recipient of a tap in. It's 4-2 Port Huron. Well, they sure won't be the 8th ranked power play in the FPHL after tonight. 3 power play goals to start the third period for the Port Huron Prowlers. We go back to Tucker Scantlebury, who scored his 4th and 5th power play goals of the season, as Jay Krupp has taken a timeout for the Columbus River Dragons. Again, Krupp, usually a player assistant coach, but with the River Dragons head coach not here attending his daughter's graduation from Auburn University, Krupp not dressed, and he's standing behind the bench. But during this timeout, we mentioned that Scantlebury scored his 4th and 5th power play goals of the season, and that pulls him into a tie with the leaders atop the FPHL, Gus Ford, Parker Moskow, and Tyler Jurich. Although that's, of course, unless one of those 3 guys scores a power play goal tonight. Ford with Carolina is in Mississippi. Moskow with Elmira is visiting Watertown, and Jurich with Binghamton hosting the Delaware Thunder. An exciting start for the Prowlers. They're still on the man advantage. Here's Larry Vartiainen. Federley to Vartiainen. Now Devaney. Tried to feed it down low. That was deflected off a River Dragon stick and out of play. 2:54 to go on this Prowlers power play. They can score as many times as they want because it was a major penalty to Edgar Zozelinch. Here's Devaney. Prowlers trying to continue to add on. Devaney on the half wall, trying to feed it up towards Federley. River Dragons looking for a shorthanded opportunity, but it's chipped into the Columbus bench, out of play. About 2.5 minutes into period 3, and the Prowlers already have 3 in the period to take a 4-2 lead. Sent all the way down by the River Dragons, top-ranked PK coming into this game. Not sure they'll still be there either after allowing those 3 power play goals, as Freeborn took a spill entering the zone. Maybe tripped over the blue line there. Merritt up to Jay, wrists it on net, save the rebound, and they score! It slipped through McBurney, and Matt Graham has a power play goal. It's a 3-goal lead for the Prowlers and a 4-goal first 3 minutes of the third. Well, the Prowlers power play has had its struggles this season, especially early on. They went long stretches without power play goals. It was a frustrating part of their game at some points. But tonight, everything seems to be clicking as Dalton Jay enters the zone. Prowlers still on the man advantage, by the way. As Merritt with a deflection, jamming at the rebound, McBurney has it covered. Minute 42 left on this power play, and they will play the full minute and 42, 5-on-4. 16:43 still to go in the third period. All 4 of those Prowlers goals coming within the first 3 minutes of this third period, sending this crowd into a frenzy. Jay back to Johnson, looking for more. Freeborn over to Johnson, the one-timer. He whiffed on it. Johnson gets it again, steps up, gives to Freeborn. Back to Johnson, whiffed on the pass, time the backhander, but it was poked away by Greco. Freeborn behind the cage, out to Jay, shoots, he scores! Second of the game for Dalton Jay, off of McBurney's glove, and the Prowlers have a 6-2 lead. One more for Dalton Jay, and the Teddy Bears won't be the only things being thrown on the ice tonight. Fans will have to find some hats to toss out there as well. Dalton Jay with his team high 14th goal of the season. He had his 6-game goal streak snapped yesterday by the River Dragons, and he answers back with 2. Still 16 minutes to go in the third period. Vartiainen in the final minute of the man advantage for Port Huron. It's taken away by Frejo and lifted all the way down. Federley taken hard into the wall by Storjahan. All the Prowlers come back to help out, get the puck. And Devaney at the red line dumps it in. Scantlebury tips it ahead. Coming around, has 2 of his own, but tried to set up Foley. He wasn't able to connect. Scantlebury and Jay with 2 goals apiece. As it comes out in front, and Storjahan able to get it out of danger as the net comes off its moorings. The Prowlers got their first goal of the period at the 18-second mark, and their 5th goal of the period at the 3:46 mark. So that's about 3 minutes and 38 seconds, I want to say, for 5 goals. LaBelle holding, clears it all the way down. Final 10 seconds, ticking off of one of the most successful power plays in hockey history. Port Huron Prowlers get 5 power play goals on the 5-minute major. Now Vartiainen lifted it over top of the net. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. And the River Dragons say, finally, we are back to 5-on-5. Lifted to center. Schmidt, who is the man serving for Ozelinch, takes Henning hard into the wall. Henning gives him a shove. Now Schumacher butting off his man. Henning just trying to push it out of the zone, and he does. Petrantonio looks to bring it right back in, put it on off the back wall, and Noonan gathers it in and covers up. Oh boy, if you are late to your computer screens to join us for this third period, welcome. 5 power play goals for the Prowlers, have them up by 4, and we'll take a timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Back here at McMorran Place, the Prowlers have scored 6 straight goals, 1 in the second and 5 already here in the third. 5:40 into this third period. They have opened up a 4-goal lead. Shots 8-0 in favor of the Prowlers in this frame, 45-30 for the game. Petrantonio trying to fight past Graham. Johnson takes the puck. Gives to his defense partner, Gino Mini. Comes up to Graham. Down deep, Greco on it. Comes all the way across. Here's LaBelle. Stepping around his own net. Josh LaBelle moves up ice. Puts it off the corner boards. Greco off the back wall. Jay gives to Freeborn. Liam Freeborn drops to Dalton Jay. Taken away from him. LaBelle had some trouble with it. Freeborn has it back. Johnson put it on, deflected save, rebound, and Jay couldn't beat McBurney for the hat trick. Minnie had it taken away by Gill. Storjahan starts to rush the other way. Gives to Doe. Doe with a shot. Missed everything. Kelly all the way back across. Doe to Storjahan, and he just flubbed it wide. Johnson lifts it high and out. 7 minutes gone, third period. Dalton Jay up to 5 points in this game. 2 goals, 3 assists for him as Kelly rips one off a stick and out of play. Jay got the Teddy Bears tossing in that second period. And then the Prowlers open things up here in the third. 5 points for Dalton Jay, 3 for Matt Graham on a goal and 2 helpers. And a couple of goals for Tucker Scantlebury, a couple of assists for Liam Freeborn. Sam Merritt with a goal and an assist as well. As all the power play guys getting in on the action. Storjahan puts it out in front. That hits Scantlebury. Storjahan gets it back from Frageau. Schmidt at the point, wrist shot, goes wide. Comes out in front, Schmidt again, put it down low, and Noonan patted it away. Brian Parsons starting a rush up, gives to Federley. Tried to feed back to Parsons, Frageau got in the middle, and then Paul Frageau ices the puck. 12:10 to go. Third period. Prowlers 3 shots away from hitting 50 shots on goal. We wonder in a game like this if we will see a Justin Schmidt fight. Gino Mini was his combatant in one of the games down in Columbus, and it looks like Vartiainen got hit up high by McBurney's stick. Bodies were flying in the corner. Here's Kelly all by himself, surrounded by Prowlers. He sends it back out to center, but right to Larry Vartiainen. Trying to dance his way in. He took a hit, and Devaney got the puck deep. Foley with a good hit at center on Aldworth. Now Devaney gets around his man. Joe Devaney couldn't find the handle, tried to send it to the front, and Vartiainen couldn't find it. 3-on-2 for the River Dragons. Drop to Vanelli, but Devaney all aware of that, and he gets it out. Underwood back in. Backhands it on net. Noonan with the save. Penalty coming up against the Prowlers as McBurney heads to the bench for the extra attacker, but Port Huron touches up. A high sticking call coming against the Prowlers. Looks like Adam Hainsel, the guilty party. The River Dragons will go to the man advantage, trying to cut into this large Port Huron lead. Bailey McBurney still in net for the Columbus River Dragons. Greco and Graham set to draw. Puck there, and Graham, got as far as King at the point. King all the way across towards Storjahan. Graham got a stick on it. Comes to Frejo. Now Storjahan. Back across, King collects, gives to Frejo, over to Storjahan. Takes the shot from the sharp angle. Noonan made the save. Puck sits there in the corner, comes out, King a shot. Good save by Noonan with the glove. And the net has come off once again behind Joe Noonan. Both goaltenders having issues with the net coming off. And with 1:22 left on the River Dragons power play and 10:25 to go in the third, we'll have another face-off in Port Huron ice. Frejo goes over to King, walks down the wall, up to Frejo. Tried to feed it down low. Knocked away. Comes out to Storjahan, and he scores. And now Greco and Williams drop the gloves. Greco with a few good punches on Sam Williams, and they'll separate them. But not entirely. Williams and Greco still going at it with linesmen trying their best to separate those two. It is a power play goal for the Columbus River Dragons, although they may stay on the man advantage. There was a delayed penalty coming against the Prowlers. Finally, Williams and Greco separated, and they'll head to their respective penalty boxes. Again, Sam Williams wearing number 9 tonight. Usually number 55, but that's what happens with these specialty jersey nights. Sometimes not all the right numbers are there, especially for a guy like Williams, who just joined the team a few weeks ago. So Williams joins Hainsel in the box. Greco in there as well. I believe the original penalty was coming to Sam Williams because they didn't take anybody else. Petrantonio and Henning over there. Adam Hansel will be released on the power play goal. As they continue to figure things out over at the penalty box sides, and now they have the 2 minutes up on the board for Williams. We'll see, maybe Hansel has to go back in. Oh, they're gonna play 4-on-4 actually. Saw the referee motioning for, or signaling for fours to both benches. It's like Joe Devaney over there in the Prowlers penalty box. Likely serving, yes, he seems like he'll be serving Sam Williams penalty. It will be 5-on-4. So 5-on-4 for 2 minutes. Adam Hansel comes out of the box. Sam Williams is in there. 2 minutes for cross-checking and the fight. Michael Greco, 5 for fighting. Devaney in there serving for Sam Williams, and the Prowlers will have another power play to kill off, now leading by 3 as we hit the midway point of the third period. Aldworth quickly into the zone. Gives to LaBelle at the point, back to Aldworth. LaBelle winds and fires and right into Noonan's glove, and he'll hold on with cheers from the Port Huron faithful. River Dragons get one back, and it's still a 3-goal game. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron.
So the goal to Alex Storjahan from Lane King and Paul Frageau at the 9:50 mark of the third period pulls Columbus within 3. And for Storjahan, his 13th goal of the season. He's riding an 8-game point streak that's now 9. And that goal helps him extend that point streak to 9. He has now 17 points in that span, 7 multi-goal games, including yesterday when he had a pair of assists. Wickline. Storjahan on the other power play unit for the River Dragons. Doe to the point, LaBelle with a one-timer. Blocked aside by Noonan. LaBelle cut off the clearing attempt from Federley. It did get out of the zone, however, so the River Dragons had to touch up, and now they come back in, but Henning finds loose puck off the boards all the way down. Under 9 minutes to play, third period, 45 seconds left on Sam Williams' cross-checking penalty being served by Joe Devaney, with Williams in there with Michael Greco for a fight. As King steps in, Prowlers thought it was offsides, but the linesman disagreed. McBurney holds it behind the net for Frageau. Frageau almost gave it up to Dalton J. Storjahan helped him. Storjahan with a nice move, and he hits the crossbar, and that puck goes out of play. Nice dangle from Alex Storjahan, looking for his second goal of the period, but caught right where the crossbar and the post meet, and the puck slid out of play. 13 seconds left on the River Dragons' man advantage. Frageau had it go through him at the point. Jay trying to chase it down, and McBurney all the way out to make sure Dalton Jay doesn't have a chance at the hat trick. At least not there. And Kelly able to poke it to center as the man advantage is over. for Columbus. 8 minutes to go, third period. As Frageau steps out, feeds Storjahan. Gets around a couple of Prowlers. Alex Storjahan with a shot, hit a stick, and goes up and out of play. 7:50 on the clock in this third period. And Joe Noonan has now made 35 saves on 38 shots in his first start of the season. He's been with the Prowlers all year, but has been given third goalie duties. Got his first start of the year tonight. He's made some big saves. Kept his team in the game for much of those first 40 minutes before the Prowlers able to explode on the Edgars Ozelinch 5-minute major that came at the end of the second and started at the beginning of the third. Scantlebury into forecheck Rogers, but Cody Rogers moved it quickly to his captain Petrantonio. Puck comes to Scantlebury at center. Now Hainsel up to Foley. Gets the red line, gets it deep right in on McBurney. He moves it to Rogers. Rogers and Foley come together behind the net. Vanelli up to Wickline. Now Aldworth steps into the zone. High shot, fought off by Noonan. And then the rebound sent out of play for another whistle. 6:47 to go, third period. And the Prowlers power play, the MVP of the game so far tonight. Backhanded out as far as LaBelle. He's taken it hard to the boards by Vartiainen. Now comes around deep. Another big hit in the corner. Now a fight coming between Henning and Schmidt. Justin Schmidt trying to throw some big punches at Henning. They're still wrapped up. Wickline back to his feet after the big hit. Now Schmidt trying to get that hand free. Henning also getting a couple of rights in there. Henning going for a left and then a right. Puts Justin Schmidt down to a knee. And they're going to keep going. They nod off the lines with Schmidt with a few rights. Henning responds with a couple of his own. Schmidt with a big one landing on Dustin Henning. They wrestle each other down to a knee, and now the linesman will say, that's enough. As Dustin Henning hanging in there with one of the best fighters in the FPHL, and Justin Schmidt got some good shots in of his own. A pretty even fight between the two veterans, Henning and Schmidt. 6:24 to go, third period. We have our second fight of the third. And this gives me an opportunity to bring up one of my favorite Dustin Henning facts. We all know that Dalton Jay is the all-time leading point getter for the Port Huron Prowlers, but he's not the only Prowler who is the all-time leading point getter for a team. Dustin Henning is the other. He's the all-time points leader for the All-American Hockey League's Worcester Corn Kings, which was a team for 5 games in the 2010-11 season before folding. Henning had 7 points in those 5 games, and he is the franchise leader in points and will be forever, as that team, again, no longer around. Here's Devaney into the zone. Couldn't put it on net. Kelly gave it over. Frageau, the headman feed to Storjahan, missed him, and Schumacher gets back to touch up for icing. 5:50 to go, third period of a big game for the Port Huron Prowlers against these Columbus River Dragons. The FPHL leading Columbus River Dragons came in here, scored 5 goals for the third time this season against the Prowlers, and got the win for the third time this season against the Prowlers last night. Big response for Port Huron. Kelly through center into the Prowlers zone. Kelly with a shot, shouldered off by Noonan. Freeborn has it, threw it right off of his own man, Matt Graham. Wonder if Graham will make him do a couple extra sprints for that at practice. Rogers with a nice move. Shot was blocked by Gino Minia. Storjahan was saved by Noonan on the in-tight opportunity. Freeborn and Vanelli chased after it. Fans enjoying that. Under 5 to play. Third period. Off the glass all the way down. And the puck may have hopped out of play on the way down, but either way, will get a whistle. 4:48 to go. Third period, Prowlers with a 3-goal lead on the FPHL's top team. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Back here in Port Huron, Prowlers with a 6-3 lead on the Columbus River Dragons. All thanks to 5 power play goals in this third period, all coming within the first 5 minutes of the period. As Schumacher gets it deep. Prowlers looking to become just the second team to defeat these River Dragons in regulation. The other one, the Mississippi Seawolves, did it in their first regular season game in franchise history. They shut out the River Dragons that night, but then Columbus, in the next 2 games they played, Columbus put up double-digit goals on the Seawolves and haven't let Mississippi win since. That shot blocked out of play off of Schumacher with 4:10 to go in the third period. We do invite you to tune in to our next broadcast as the Port Huron Prowlers take on the Mississippi Seawolves in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on December 15th. Puck drop is scheduled for 7 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:45. It's all right here on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. McBurney has been pulled, so Devaney looking for the empty net, blocked by LaBelle. 6-on-5 right now for the River Dragons as Devaney gets it down, and too short for icing. Bold strategy by Jay Krupp, acting head coach tonight. Storjahan into the zone, feeds it over. Wickline couldn't catch that one in his skates, and Johnson sent it over the glass. And they're going to send Alex Johnson to the penalty box. So it will be a 6-on-4 advantage for the Columbus River Dragons. And now McBurney heading back to the net. So it will only be 5-on-4. Although there are 6 River Dragons out there right now. Now Michael Greco heading off to make the numbers correct. McBurney back in net, and a power play for Columbus with 3:42 to go in the third period. Aldworth takes the shot. Couldn't find the corner that he was looking for. Instead, just found the glass. Minnie shoved off Wickline behind the net. Cody Wickline a bit slow to his feet. The puck comes to LaBelle at the point. To Wickline, drops it off to Aldworth. Now LaBelle taken away by Dalton. Jay has 2 in the game. Jay in, saved by McBurney. And the puck flies out of play. Dalton Jay that close to completing the hat trick. He sent the Teddy Bears flying and got another one in this third period, but couldn't complete the hat trick on that play. Graham takes it, shoots, and McBurney with the glove save. Under 3 to play, third period, minute 15 to go on the River Dragons power play. Fans getting loud here, hoping that the Prowlers can finish this one out with under 3 to play and a 3-goal lead. Storjahan enters the zone. McBurney's back on the bench. So a 6-on-4 attack for the next minute for the Columbus River Dragons. King to Frageau at the point. Kelly one-touched it to Storjahan, got it back. Storjahan again switches spots with Jacob Kelly. Kelly curling away. Down to Storjahan. Up to Frageau, just kept it in. Prowlers able to chop it out. Foley with a yawning cage in front of him. Bingo! Prowlers' first shorthanded goal of the season is into an empty net, and it belongs to Evan Foley, the cherry on top of this specialty jersey night for the Prowlers. Their holiday celebration with the Grinch-themed jerseys, all raising money for the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics Michigan. Scantlebury dangling his way to center, had his stick lifted as he tried to dump it, but able to do so on the second opportunity. 2 minutes to go, third period. Rogers gives to Aldworth. Takes the shot, lifted it high and wide. Johnson out of the box, back to 5-on-5. Underwood tried to put it in front, slid back towards Noonan, and he gets down to cover it. With a minute 33 to go in the third period. The Prowlers offense showing out in this third period. As Wickline and Foley get set for the face-off. King having an argument with a fan in the stands. Lane King sitting on the bench yelling at some Prowlers fans up here in the section right below me. I believe that's section 11. Meanwhile, on the ice, puck deflected off of Rogers' stick, and he dumps it in. Vartiainen up to Johnson, off the boards and out. Here's Gino Mini, or Devaney, excuse me, but play in offsides. And now it's Greco screaming at the fans in the front row. Wow, Greco with some very strong words from the River Dragons bench to a couple of fans in the front row. And the fans are giving it right back to him. Jay Krupp trying to keep Michael Greco calm. That puck dumped in by the Prowlers as we hit the final minute of the play in this third period. River Dragons have iced the puck, 48 seconds up on the clock. The frustration's boiling over for the Columbus River Dragons, who are just seconds away from losing their second regulation game this season. They'll move to 14-2-1, although this shouldn't hurt their standings all that much, as they will still be atop the Continental Division after tonight, and by a decent margin as well, as that shot skittered past the net. Vanelli moved it up. Parsons stymied it at the line. Comes to Jay, still sitting on 2 goals, gives to Freeborn. Tried to feed it back to Matt Graham. That was taken away by Storjahan. Parsons kept it in front of him. Schumacher up to Freeborn at the Prowlers blue line. He deflects it further. McBurney comes out to play to negate the icing. 13 seconds left to go in this third period. Rogers steps out. Cody Rogers, as the Prowlers fans saluting their team as the final couple of seconds tick off tonight. And the Port Huron Prowlers defeat the FPHL's top team, the Columbus River Dragons, by a final score of 7-3 tonight at McMorran Place. An offensive explosion for the Port Huron Prowlers in their specialty holiday-themed uniforms. And they get a big win to stay above, to get back to above 500. They move to 8-7-3 with 27 points, on the River Dragons fall to 14-2-1 with 42 points. Before we get into the post-game show, just one more reminder to tune into our next broadcast on Thursday, December 15th, when the Prowlers take on the Mississippi Seawolves in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's a neutral site game in Baton Rouge. Puck drop scheduled for 7 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:45. It's all right here on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. So let's hear the 3 stars of the game.
The third star tonight's game with 2 goals. Number 17, Tucker Scantleberry. The second star tonight's game with 1 goal and 2 assists. Number 51, Matt Graham. And the first star tonight's game with 5 points, 2 goals and 3 assists. Number 92, Dalton Shea.
So Tucker Scantleberry, the third star, with 2 goals. Matt Graham Tucker Scantleberry, the third star, 2 goals. Matt Graham, the second star, with a goal and 2 assists. And Dalton Jay, 2 goals, 3 points. He is tonight's first star for the Port Huron Prowlers. Well, this game started just as a typical Prowlers and River Dragons game has begun. 2 goals for the River Dragons, but took them a little bit longer to get than it usually does in these games. Thomas Aldworth scored the only goal of the first period, 5:33 in, and then Cody Wickline, 4:21 into the second period, made it 2-0 Columbus. From there, it was just about all Prowlers. Dalton Jay sent the Teddy Bears onto the ice with his first goal of the night at 13:24 in the second period. And then at the end of that second period, Edgar Zozelinch received a 5-minute major for throwing some punches in the hallway as the teams were exiting the ice. That set the Prowlers on a power play that began 5-on-3, and then because Bailey McBurney had a 4-minute double minor in the final minute of that second period. So it was 5-on-3 for the Prowlers. They scored twice on the 5-on-3, both from Tucker Scantleberry. And then in the 5-on-4, they had goals from Sam Merritt, Matt Graham, and Dalton Jay. That's 5 power play goals for the Port Huron Prowlers in that third period. And all of them came in the first 3 minutes and 46 seconds of the third. Alex Storjahan got one back for the River Dragons, power play goal of his own, but that was all they'd be able to muster. Evan Foley hit the empty net and sent the Prowlers fans home happy, although many of them not leaving yet as they stop and get their wallets out to support the torch run, as with our specialty jersey auction. Well, the Prowlers pick up a big win against the FPHL's top team. Let's take a look around the FPHL, see what the other teams are doing. Right now, through 2 periods of play, the Binghamton Black Bears have a 3-1 lead on the Delaware Thunder. The Danbury Hat-Tricks are up 3-2 on the Motor City Rockers late in that second period. The Watertown Wolves with a 4-1 lead on Elmira, just past the midway point of the middle frame, and the Carolina Thunderbirds and Mississippi Seawolves knotted up at 1 as they prepare to start the second period. Final shots on goal, 52 for the Prowlers, 43 for the Columbus River Dragons. And we have to talk about Joe Noonan making his first start, dressing even, for the first time this season. He made 40 saves on 43 shots against the top scoring team in the FPHL. A big performance from him, and we may see him in the Prowlers net a little more often moving forward. On the other side, Bailey McBurney gives up 6 goals to the Port Huron Prowlers. A guy who usually only gives up 1 or 2 or maybe even 3. He came into this game with a 2.43 goals against average and a 927 save percentage. He had made 41 saves on 43 shots in his last appearance against the Prowlers, but he gives up 6 goals to Port Huron, and that is a season high for him. So the Prowlers send their fans home happy after a big 7-3 win over the FPHL's top team. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone here making everything work smoothly. Couldn't do it without the entire crew. And we will see you next time on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel.